Then we'll switch gears, and this would be, looking at my page numbers here in the focal point, page 13 and 14 of the focal point. And I know it's kind of hard to put things in historical perspective, but I feel really good about these 4 semi-proven bulls and the kind of impact they can have in our lineup going forward. I don't know that we've ever had such an exciting set of semi-proven bulls like this. We'll start out with the EMBLAZON 999 bull. Good news on him is we have already released priority product, and we will have CSS product available on him shortly.
Yeah, Doug, and you know, I guess it's worth underlining too. In today's environment, one of the hardest things to do is find these bulls that are semi-proven, that aren't tied up, that you really want to dial into. And EMBLAZON 999 has been one of those bulls we've been tracking now for probably a year or two. You know, from a pedigree standpoint and performance standpoint, he's actually one of the biggest performance EMBLAZON sons that you'll identify anywhere. Still comes 12 cavities direct. You know, he's a good dollar weaning bull with a lot of dollar B for his pedigree, lots of marbling in there as well. Progeny, you know, have been very consistent. They're going to add some size and some stretch to your average EMBLAZON. They're not that super moderate kind. They've got some size. They've got a little stretch to go along with that performance, so just a little bit of a different twist there. So a bull that I think is going to fit right in and do us an awful lot of good moving forward.
And I did get the chance to see this bull this spring as I was out doing customer meetings. There's kind of an interim photo here that we used on the bull. I mean, I was really impressed by him. He had just been pulled from breeding fall cows at that time. You say he's maybe a little bigger, a little stretchier than the typical EMBLAZON bull. You know, as an individual, I mean, he is outstanding in terms of muscle mass and capacity and fleshing ability. Really, really impressed with him. I think another bull that's, you know, pretty impressive in his type and kind and really in his data is the LEUPOLD bull.
Yeah, you know, the LEUPOLD bull is one of those bulls that you classify as a no-holes kind of bull. You know, traveling through Montana, you know, I've been tracking this bull again for a year or two just from a data standpoint. But this last winter got up to Montana, got my eyes on the bull from a structure standpoint, from a feet and leg standpoint, from a muscle standpoint, you know, all the things phenotypically that you want to check off. This was a bull that had 0 holes, really was an impressive kind of individual, lots of rib and dimension to him. You know, he's a Cavanese bull that was actually Gardner Deneau's high performance sire. His progeny did as well. They were the high performance sire group up there. They were the high selling sire group up there as well this spring. So a bull that I think, you know, the top side of this bull is it's going to be a pretty high ceiling for him.
Yeah. You know, when I look at this bull, and you know, he doesn't strike me as being a 10X grandson. Again, maybe I'm a little biased on the 10X cattle, that there may be some challenges there in terms of phenotype and so forth. This bull doesn't strike me that way at all. He's got that kind of data with, I think, a much more powerful, much sounder, much more cowboy-friendly phenotype, I think.
Now, and couple that, Doug, with, the justice on the bottom side, you know, that good maternal kind of breeding in there as well. I mean, just a really cool package.
Yeah, and I think, again, the herd he's coming out of, bred in that Gardner Deneau herd, I think it is that strong maternal background behind him that's made him what he is. Now, one thing, again, I'm really excited about these 4 bulls on this page, and 3 of the 4 are working really well from a semen production standpoint right now. Unfortunately, LEUPOLD has not quite gotten with the program, but we are at the time of year that, these bulls are making some pretty dramatic changes as we come out of the winter. Hopefully he will do that here very soon as well. We could have priority semen basically just as soon as he starts clearing quality check, and could have CSS product in early May. I said we were only going to talk about new bulls, but I think ROCKMOUNT's an important enough bull, and he fits in so well with this set of semi-proven bulls. And actually, Ben, as you know, he was acquired about the same time as the rest of these bulls are contracted. We were really fortunate that he was part of the Origin network. He was standing at Origin at the time, and we were able to flip him over very quickly, and he really hit the ground running. In fact, he's in our top 10 bulls for sales for the spring. We've had him on our go-to list because he is such a good, high-quality, high-volume semen producer. But I want to credit our representatives. They've actually been able to outsell that so far on ROCKMOUNT this spring. Because of that exceptionally high demand, we are looking at probably 2 to 3 week back order times right now on new orders. But again, he's a very good semen producer, bull that should continue to make some really strong contributions this spring. Again, Ben, I know this is a bull that you've kind of had your eye on for quite a while. Tell us a little more about ROCKMOUNT.
Well, again, Doug, this is a bull that, we've seen up at Origin for the last couple of years. He's a head turner. I mean, you get to going through bulls up there and then have an opportunity to go through each bull pen by pen, and this is a bull that'll stop you in your tracks, make you turn. He's genuinely one of the most interesting and different kind of daybreaks phenotypically you'll find, from a standpoint of, a little more moderate in his frame. Lots of muscle expression, and you attribute an awful lot of that to that cow, don't you? She's that bushhook bred cow, that alliance bred female. She's done an awfully good job of making herd bulls, between Deluxe and the Hero Bull. 17 Cavanese direct, way out there for Cavanese, plenty of growth, good carcass merit with a really good type and kind to this bull. This really is a head turning kind of bull, isn't he, Doug?
Yeah, and the thing I like about him is from a data standpoint, he reminds me a lot of Hoover Dam. I mean, just from an overall standpoint, he's a really nice, balanced, attractive, heavy-muscled phenotype, and a really nice, balanced, no-holes kind of EPD package. So I think for customers that have maybe used Hoover Dam for several years and are looking for another bull of that type and kind, I think ROCKMOUNT's sure a bull to take a look at. We'll finish up this set of semi-proven bulls with Homestead, and this is another bull that was released yesterday. We do have prime CSS quality semen available on him. And again, Ben, I think he fits the same mold when you look at the Cavanese potential, you look at the birth-to-yearling spread, but you also look at the type and kind in terms of the muscle shape, the capacity. And we already talked about, one of his really good daughters is the mother of the assertive bull. And again, I think from what we understand, I mean, that's what those daughters are like. Really nice teat and udder quality, very good females.
Absolutely. And this is, it sounds like a broken record, but these are some bulls that we've had our eyes on over the last year or two. Numerous times. We've been watching. We've been waiting for the data to come in. We've studied our lessons. But this is a bull that I saw out at Oakcrest probably 18 months or 2 years ago for the first time, I'd guess. And, the thing that really struck me was the amount of muscle expression this bull had, the amount of body and rib and fleshing ability that he displayed. This is a bull that, with a great set of feet and legs under him, with that much mass and that much fleshing ability and muscle, coupled with his data, coupled, with that docility, I think this bull's going to make an awfully good female making kind of a bull.
Yeah, and I know there's some pretty astute breeders that got some of that first semen that left here yesterday as well. I think this is a bull that can really make some waves. And Ben, as you talk about broken records, I think the kind of broken record we're talking about on these last 4 bulls is one we could get pretty used to. Switching gears to the next pen, we talked about a 10X influenced bull earlier. Top 10 is another 10X. He's a 10X son out of the CCN7. Really, really nice data combination across the board. Again, that same kind of recipe. We're talking about a 13 CED bull, nice birth to yearling spread, a bull that excels for heifer pregnancy and docility. Really strong overall carcass data, $130 V bull. And this is another bull that's been a good semen producer. We do have CSS semen available on him as well. Moving into a couple of the newest bulls in the lineup, and the only bad news about that is that means they're going to be kind of the latest to be released, and the next 2 bulls both came here into DeForest, so we will not have priority semen available on them. We'll be looking at CSS semen in early June. The first bull here is the competitor bull. He's out of the 890 cow, so he would be related to Tour Duty, to Active Duty, out of that lady cow family, out of the record-selling cow there at the National Western Stock Show. And, if you talk to the folks that are closest to that cow family, they'll tell you he's the most impressive bull out of that cow family since Tour Duty. Very similar in his type and kind. In my mind, maybe even a little bit stouter made than Tour Duty. He's a complete son that's much lower for birth weight, much stronger birth to yearling spread than complete himself. Again, awesome type and kind, really nice data, very impressive individual. Here's his brother, the Game Winner bull. This is a Confidence son out of that same New Standard cow. You know, how often do you find bulls that are plus 20 for CED and negative 3.5 birth weight that have the kind of muscle mass and substance that he does? You know, there is a big flush of these bulls. There's been, you know, some brothers to this bull that have sold extremely well this spring. You know, I'd put this bull right in there with them in terms of type and kind. I know this is a bull that has really come on here in the last few weeks as Gaffney's brought him down for their sale, and as we picked him up and brought him here into the stud. He was handled a little differently than those higher selling bulls. I think he got back in that same environment, and he's really, really blossomed. So again, I think he's an exciting Cavanese bull, really powerful, confident son. It'd be nice if we can kind of get him sampled here yet this spring, and be a really good contributor for the future. We're going to switch gears, Ben, a little bit. We've been talking about Hoover Dam, talking about some of that influence on the Angus side of our business. This is a half-blood bull that I know you're really excited about.
Oh, I'm big time excited, Doug. I mean, this bull is plumb cool to look at with his top and his hip and his muscle expression. You know, he's a moderate frame kind of half-blood bull, just loaded full of just thickness and body. You like his EPD package to go along with it. You know, this picture is kind of neat, but the thing that we need to get spread out to everybody is his video. His sale day video is just incredible. And, you know, we've got good partners on this bull. He's going to get sampled heavily. He's going to get used in some heifers. We're going to get a lot of good data on this bull right away. He's at origin, and he's even made some semen. So, you know, this is a bull that we could look forward to being able to sample this spring yet.
Yeah, I think the priority release date on him would be around May 1, so we're pretty close to being able to release semen on him. How about in the Red Angus breed, Ben? Tell us about the Julian 1W bull.
Well, this is a bull that you go to, what would you use the word, vintage, maybe retro? How would you describe that? So you got a little B571 on top of Cherokee Canyon, 2 low birth weight kind of bulls, but, you know, a bull that has some progeny proof. He's a 16 Cavanese direct bull with nice growth to him. If you study the new herd builder index, you know, at a 202 or the grid master at a 52, he's right there at the top of the breed. So a semi-proven Cavanese bull that, you know, with the pedigree that we know what to expect from it, you know, I think this bull could be kind of interesting moving forward.
And he has been a good semen producer. We're about a week away from having CSS product available on this bull. We'll finish up then with a new Hereford bull, the Revved Up.
Sure thing. You know, this is a bull that, you know, Todd and I were having a conversation one day about, you know, getting a little more growth and performance and you know, to couple with our Cavanese and that sort of thing on a Hereford bull, get a little type and kind into him, just kind of a different kind of polled Hereford bull that we were looking for. Revved Up kind of fit that to a T. You know, he's a homozygous polled bull, DNA tested homozygous polled, really attractive phenotype. You know, he's got good pigment on both eyes, good sound structure, plenty of top to him. You know, so he's not just a Cavanese bull. There's going to be some type and kind in this bull as well. So, again, a bull that's at origin. Doug, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure that he's frozen anything yet, but I would say that this is a bull that's turned a lot of heads and created an awful lot of conversation to this point.
Yep, exactly. And he has been there long enough that, again, he'll have his CSS release. He's been close, but don't quite have semen passing QC yet. But we're pretty close on that. So, again, I guess just in wrap-up here, again, Ben, congratulations. Thanks for all your hard work. And as you described, I mean, everybody that's helped been a part of this spring. I think just an outstanding set of new young bulls. And bulls, I think that, again, not every one of them is going to be available in time to help us out tremendously this spring, but there's quite a few of them I think can be pretty key contributors for us yet this spring. And it's in a market where we need it. Tremendous opportunity out there. A lot of our top selling bulls are back ordered at the moment. There's a little bit of weight on some of these bulls. You know, I think we'll find quite a lot of interest, you know, in particular in some of these absolute sons, broken bow sons, some of these kind of things I think would have quite a bit of a utility for us yet this spring.